very much for coming into the committee here today. At what stage did you realise that there was an IT problem in relation to the ACRES scheme?
Well, I suppose that's a difficult thing to pin down in terms of did we realise there was an IT problem. I mentioned earlier on that the IT. Can I might just explain to you how the situation kind of develops. I mentioned earlier that as we were rolling out the scheme, we were putting the IT systems in place. We were developing the IT infrastructure as we were going along. So it was a work in progress all the time.
So at what stage did you realise that there's a problem here? At what stage did you realise that there was issues around processing?
Oh, well, in late 2023.
Late 2023?
Ahead of the advance, yeah, we were preparing payments. We were processing the payments for the advance payment at the end of 2023, right, and that's when we realised that there were particular issues with the processing system.
So the frustration that I have, and the frustration that farmers have across Ireland, is that at no stage in late 23 or 2024 did you come as the leadership and show leadership and state to the farmers across Ireland that there is an issue, and the issue is on our side, and we're working hard to fix it. Because farmers were given the runaround. And I was given the runaround, trying to represent farmers in Mayo. And it was completely unacceptable. Farmers across Mayo and the country felt that they were at fault, and they were trying to understand what the issue was. In some cases, they were asking me, did I have a failed inspection? Was there an overpayment? And all along, for over a year, you knew that the problem was on your end. Why did you not come out and tell farmers, show leadership, and tell them that we're working hard, there is an issue, and we're trying to solve it?
When you say over a year, we did actually, we made it clear towards the end of 2023 that there were going to be issues, delays with the payments, and we only got 19,000, I think it was. I can't recall the exact figure off the top of my head, but we did get those payments out at the end of December. No. But we knew there would be delays. We undertook to try and get those done by the following February. And just to finish the point, when it wasn't possible, and we were communicating with people around the fact that we were aiming at that deadline in February, when that wasn't possible, we moved on then to making interim payments to farmers, which went out in March of 2024. And we communicated with people, we wrote to people, we explained what the situation was, we told them what the arrangements would be in the following number of months in terms of paying them first of all, and then potentially having to reconcile those payments and recoup monies if they were overpaid. So we were in constant contact.
I have to be straight with you, Paul. There were major issues around communication and a lack of transparency in relation to it. And I can show you the evidence. I can show you letters and so on. So I do think that there should have been transparency. You should have shown leadership, and you should have been straight and honest with farmers that there are difficulties with the processing, difficulties with the IT system, and just that bit of courtesy, I think, would have gone a long way, and it would have helped a lot of the public reps here as well in relation to it. How much did the IT system cost for acres?
I don't have a specific cost, Deputy. It's like the IT development effort is incorporated into the overall IT resources there in the department. So we have IT teams within the overall IT resource. We have our own internal teams in the department who work then with external contractors. And we develop each item of software and each part of the functionality as we go. I don't have a specific breakdown in terms of what that cost is in terms of internal and external
Do you have an estimate?
No, I mean, I don't want to be plucking a figure out of the air, to be frank, if I was to do that. But
are you happy with how it's gone? Are you like what has been learned in relation to it? Like we always hear lessons have been learned. Yeah. Can you tell the farmers like 5 lessons that have been learned in relation to this? Well,
I think lessons have been learned, and we're learning them all the time. And again, it's, I suppose, to do with learning how we put in place a very new system, using new technology, doing new things, doing more ambitious things.
So what lessons were learned?
Well, I think the first one is that we want to get payments out more quickly and try and simplify our payment structure overall, because we have a lot of complexity in the scheme now, as environmental schemes tend to be, okay? Our job, I think, is to try and simplify that and streamline it to the best extent that we can, and that's what we'll focus on when we do the exercise that I mentioned earlier, which will start next month in terms of
So practically speaking, what lessons have been learned from this mess?
But that's what I'm saying. The lessons that have been learned, I think, are about doing things that we can, doing the most that we can to try and streamline the operation of the system and make sure that it's more efficient for the advance payments later in the year. But again, what I would say also is that We did want to make sure that we developed every element of the system correctly and fully so that the system is working effectively and that we don't create any additional issues for ourselves as far as payments are concerned. And that's why we didn't take the shortcut of processing manual payments, paper-based payments, whatever it might be. They would actually only create problems for farmers and ourselves in the long term. And that's been done in the past. And we learned from that lesson previously that we didn't want to do that again. So we now have a system that has the elements of functionality in place, and we can rely on that to function more effectively in the future. And that's what we'll take forward into the next advance payments later on this year.
Thank you. We will have an opportunity